Hello everybody and welcome back. We're doing another video today. Hope y'all are doing well. We've got a new Frostagon update. Oh my gosh. Didn't know if it was going to happen. Been searching. Been getting influences. Been looking at things. And I threw that all out the window. And I'm like, let's just start with fashion. All right, let's go through this new build. I'm super excited about it. It hits harder than my Arcanist. It hits harder than the Templar. It hits harder than everything that we have built. The Necro, all stuff like that. And I'm going to show you why. Oh my gosh, this thing hits like a truck. It's crazy. All right, fashion. Look at this fashion. Oh my gosh. Barry is back. We love the bear. I went back and forth between the brown and the gray. I like the brown. He looks a little too old with the gray. Barry's not that old yet. And what we've got here with our fashion, going on, look at all these little leaves coming on down. All right? The leaves from this is actually from, let's look at it. Boom. All right. It's actually from the Gardener of Seasons set. You actually get it in all the different pieces and the staff, but you only need 5 to get this a little appearance and stuff to come on it. And really neat. I love that animation in there. You feel like that kind of druid, that Warden kind of style in there. And so I changed out the hat. I like the jazz hat in there. It kind of sits a little bit better. I like the side pieces, you know, right in there. I went with the Azure eyes in there. They should come out every once in a while in the Crown store, so be on the lookout out for that in there. But the chest piece, let's see, the chest piece, the belt, the boots, the legs, and the bracers are all in that style. And then I changed up to the Lion Guard. We just got this recently. The Lion Guard shoulders just look so wicked cool. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. And then I have on, we have the Ice Shard staff on here. I like that one because it disappears, and when it comes out, it's like basically a big old icicle, and it's got that kind of like little frosty thing like that. So we're bringing that back. Yeah, look at that. That just looks too cool. So, all right. So. Let's break it down for you. Let's show you what I've got, with this build. Let's start off with just the basics. Let's look at the gear in here. Same old with the 1-bar build. We are doing a heavy Slimecraw with Magicka and Divines. We pair that instead of with a shoulder. We always pair it with the Oakensoul because that is the when we're doing trying to bring in the Oakensoul, we try to break up the least amount of sets, and so. Having a helmet and shoulder, we just get rid of the shoulder part. So Slimecraw will still give us that wonderful first line of 771 critical chance. So we've got that in there with our Oakensoul ring that I do have in the spell damage. So it's a magical harm, I believe is the name of it in the enchanting, with the Bloodthirsty trait on there. And then I have our good old-fashioned Pillar of Nirn. Gosh, it's just so good. It's a wonderful medium set. So within the medium, armor line. Sorry, my brain there. Armor line, stuff like that. You get some bonuses to having medium stuff in here. But if you notice, I have... Let's see. Actually, I'll show you. I got medium, medium, because it all comes in medium. So I have it all as the body pieces on here. But 2 of them I have in the health traits in there. So I have a health on the chest piece because that's going to give us the most amount of health, and also the pants as well, health in there. I'm going to show you that for a reason a little bit later on because I like to balance out, how much health that I have with this build, and we'll get into that. But the rest of them, the other 3 pieces, are all, Divine's Magicka. So... the last one is going to be the shoulders. The shoulders, we're using Macabre. Oh my gosh, it's back. We were using it on our Necro, and then with my Necro, I've been tweaking it a little bit, and I switched out the Macabre, which was fun with a group of people, but really fun. I actually went with the overwhelming because I was having a little bit of a problem with sustain with some of my resources, so I was kind of doing that. So I had this available, so I gave it a shot, and I love it because it gives a ton of spell damage. And if you don't know about this one, it's that when you kill a monster, you deal some bleed damage to it. It explodes, and when it explodes, it hits other people with that. So you just get all this kind of exploding and popping and everything. It's just so much fun. So, and I should say, if you don't know the Pillar of Nirn, Jack one, it's really nice in here because it does a little does some bleed damage as well, and some bleed over time, and a little AoE under the targets in there. And I like it because it goes off a lot. It might not be the biggest AoE, compared to a lot of the other ones, but the frequency that it goes off is really, really nice. So you feel like it's going off. The one that I kind of think of when I make that statement is my Whirl of the Depths, which I really like. But man, it takes so long to ramp up, and by the time you get the big whirlpool, which will do all the heavy damage, everything's dead anyway. So yeah. So Pillar of Nirn with the Macabre. Macabre is the overland set that you get out of Westfield. So really easy to acquire. And Pillar of Nirn you might have already because we've used this a lot. It's a really a great set to get in there. It's out of Falkreath. You can go in on normal. And so you can get a group together, just pug it and stuff. A lot of people know how great this set is, so you just kind of run with them and go through, and you'll get all your set pieces to be able to make it. So it's a very easy to acquire build within there. So since we got the shoulder there, we're going to have the amulet, and we're going to have the ring in the Macabre as well, both in the spell damage enchantment, the magical harm, and using Bloodthirsty. So all of our jewelry is using Bloodthirsty, and all of them are using that magical harm. And then for the staff, we are using Macabre Lightning Staff, using it Precise, and we're adding Flame Damage, just so that we've also got another option for adding a status effect in there. So that's why that Flame Damage is on there. So, all right, so we've got all that set. Let's move on to our CP. All right, our CP in here is going to be the green. You can choose whatever you want, but we're going Wrathful Strikes, Occult Overload. This one's kind of fun in an explosive build, because whenever you kill an enemy under the effect of a status effect, they violently explode and hit to all enemies. So it kind of fits the theme of what we're doing with our Macabre in there. So absolutely wonderful. Biting Aura in there for the AoE effect. In there, Master Arms, because we're doing a lot of direct damage with that. And then for the red tree in there, Boundless, Vitality. I'll show you just so it highlights where you go on. Boundless, Vitality, Fortified. Celerity, I'm going with a little bit of speed. Celerity's found in this one over here. All right, down here. I like a little bit more of the movement speed in there is very nice. And then I do Strategic Reserve, which is so good to get your health recovery, because we don't click the bear ulti at all. We just let Barry do his thing. So yes, that's what we got going there. All right. So this is this. Let me get my chart over here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so that was the CP. Next thing, race. Basically, I'm going to have all the description down below if you haven't seen that already, so open it up in the description. I'm going to have everything listed, and I'm kind of going by that play sheet. So we did the gear, we did the CP, we did race. Do whatever you like. Gosh, nowadays, race really doesn't matter. You can even go with a stamina build with this one and do the whole thing and still be fine, because then you have a little bit extra to your stamina in there. I like Khajiit. Just kind of good all around, and you know me. I love the Khajiit. In here for the attributes, everything in the Magicka. It's going to work out really, really nice. In there, my mundus is going to be the Apprentice. We're actually going to stack some spell damage. This is a high spell damage build, which I really, really like. Let's see, food. I'm using the Corrupting Bloody Mara. I like this one a lot because it gives stuff to my Magicka, gives stuff to health and health recovery, because we're going to use that. You're also going to see that this is a heavy attack build for like 80% of it. So it's not full on in there, but you're setting up skills, and then you're doing the heavy attack. So maybe 85% of it in there. So we do want a little bit of recovery for the Magicka, but we're going to be doing a lot of heavy attacking, so that the heavy attacks are going to give us back a lot of the stuff that we're missing as far as resources. So we'll be using that in there. Let's see, and then I'm using the Tri-Stat Restoration, which we get a ton of them for free. If you log in every day, we get them every month in there. So that one's really good. Let's see. Okay, skills. Let's move on to skills. All right, after fashion, fashion was the big thing. I've been wanting to. Basically, I've been going through like all the different IA sets just to see like all the little animations that you can get, because that's how you get all these like cool little animated and cool little fashion outfits and stuff. So, but the real kind of crux of it, Arcanist joke, is what I'm using for our skills. Now, all right, before I get a little sip of water. I love my Arcanist. I also love my Necro. The idea with the Necro and the Arcanist is that you have AoEs that are hitting big. With the Arcanist, you're using the flail, and you're using the beam. That's kind of your center points. With my Necro, I am using the Boneyard, and I'm using the Scythe, and that's the AoE, and I'm using Bob. The Blast Bones. That's what I call the Blast Bones guy. It's Bob. So this kind of splash damage, this big kind of AoE stuff in there. So you don't have to target everything. There's wonderful builds out there that do a lot of damage, a lot of single target, or that you have to dot up everything. You have to move, and you have to click on every single thing to get things to happen. I'm getting old. I get a little lazy. I want stuff where I can kind of maneuver and gather enemies up and then hit them really hard with something, or put down an AoE and slow them down and do a bunch of dot damage or something like that. And it's to my chagrin, dismay, I don't know what the correct term would be, something like that. We got to go with Deep Fissure. It's not my favorite skill. I don't like something that I have to cast and then I have to wait 3 seconds. So it's definitely something that I've had to get into a rhythm of, but man, does it just hit so hard. So the very first thing that we have is Deep Fissure in there. You get the shocks that come up after 3 seconds, and do some damage with that in there. Enemies that are hit, they're afflicted with major and minor breach. That's just too good. Reducing their physical and spell resistance in there. And then it comes back and hits them again for 6 seconds later, and pop. All right. Now if that was the only thing and stuff like that, we'd still be doing a ton of damage, on it. But we're also going to see that I've got another skill on here that's going to add even more to the enemy losing a lot of their resistances, which causes this to hit even harder. So we've got that going. The second one is Winter's Revenge. Winter's Revenge for a Warden is just so good. You put it down there, you got some frost damage going on with that. It does extra damage because we've got Destruction Staff on there. Enemies here are overcome with Bitter Cold, reducing their movement speed, so it slows them down. So what I usually do is that I cast this first, get it going, cast this, slow them down. Usually they'll get hit with a chilled status effect, which does some instant damage on it, and then this hits. Okay, well, it kind of this hits. I do another thing too. Okay, I got to do the next one. All right, check this out. All right, the Growing Swarm. You're like, Growing Swarm? Yeah, Growing Swarm. It's a stamina ability. We got just enough ability, because it's the only stamina ability we have, that we can cast this and be fine in here. So Alicia Swarm that does bleed damage over 20 seconds. So we've got a dot. Not only is that it's also good because the Flutterflies rip into the original enemy's flesh, afflicting them with minor vulnerability. All right? For the duration, increasing their damage taken by 5%. This is huge. All right? So we're going with the major and minor breach. We're also slowing them down. We're putting on the growing swarm, and then this thing, if you miss the first hit of it by the time you put this on, the second hit is going to hit it. I have seen pops of like over 40k. I think the highest one that I had with someone in a group of enemies was 46k. A 46k pop on an enemy from one skill. So when people start talking about, DPS and stuff like that, that's not DPS in the traditional thing. That's just hitting hard. That's just hitting hard. My favorite one. Oh my gosh. Okay. My favorite, I get so excited about it. My favorite one, Barry's excited too. All right. Was when I get knocked down, and I get up. Okay, don't DMCA on YouTube. When I get knocked down, and this is still going. So I've clicked this, I've hit that, I've hit this, and then I get knocked down, and then this goes off as I'm on the ground, because it still goes off, because, it's already been cast. So like that. Boom! And it hits them for 40k and kills them before I get up. It's like I kind of dust myself off of like, God, what was that all about? So huge amounts of fun. Like I said, I've kind of found the fun in using Deep Fissure. So just absolutely amazing. So we're debuffing the target. We're hitting them really hard in there. Well, let me go over here a little bit. So we got Barry is out here. We're using Guardians in there. Barry's just awesome. That's the other thing. Barry does the reverse. Barry knocks them down when I'm hitting things and stuff like that. He does this bleed damage. He can proc to hemorrhaging. Barry's just awesome. He's just wonderful. Then for me, this is maybe your flex spot. Or maybe this one's your flex spot. You could have these two, whatever you want. I like healing when I'm hitting something, getting the heals back. And I also like to have an at-handy big heal. For the Warden, Polar Wind is like the biggest heal that you can get. It's amazing. It heals you for a big number and a big number over time. So that's just me. You could use that. And remember, I was using the one that I considered the best heal out of the scribing category. Can I find it real quick? Is it BM World Soul Magic? Oh, I have it as the chilling side of it. But if you've seen in any of my other builds, I have like where I do the healing burst, where it does a big heal over time, and minor resolve to the target. So really, really good in there. But the Polar Wind's better. I just like it better, and so I don't say it lightly when I use it. Plus, by using that, we're getting some extra stuff out of our Witch's Embrace passes in there. I also put on Lotus Blossom, which I don't usually do too much, but man, you get this version of it, the Lotus Blossom. It's 60 seconds. You start it before you even start moving in on the fight. You put that in and you have that forever, and it's just so great because your light attacks will restore some health. Your fully charged heavy attacks, which we're going to be doing, is going to be giving your health back. We already have Major Prophecy and Savagery, so you don't have to worry about that bottom part. But it's just a nice set it and forget it for 60 seconds and start, getting your health back, from your heavy attacks and stuff. It's just great. So it's the thing that I use most of all. And then this is my, oh my gosh, they stunned me. They got me. I got to get out of danger. I can't hit anybody. I got to run a little bit. And that's where I use that heal. If you're better than me at it and you want to swap out one of these, or you don't think that this is enough healing or something, which actually does a lot of healing, stuff like that, you could put something in there. That's where if you want to be a little bit more stout, you could do the whole revealing flare that we've done before, which just give you a flat 10% reduction of damage. You can put that in there. I've got it selected in there to swap in just in case maybe I might need it in there. If you want to do a little bit more damage stuff, you could go with a fighter's guild, put down a trap or something like that, because if you have anything in here, you get bonuses to, increase your weapon and spell damage with every fighter skill 1, up 3%. So there's options. There's options. If you watch any of my other stuff, you can kind of see, what kind of options are in there. But for me, I love that heal. It just works because I'm heavy attacking a lot, so I'm always healing myself. And then there's that big heal to kind of help me out in that. So yeah. So that's pretty much the setup. So rotation being that I start off with setting the heal, then I do the Deep Fissure, then I do Winter's Revenge as really my first attack on the enemy, because this is also being set up because it takes 3 seconds. I then hit that, and then to slow them down, get a chill status effect on it, then put the Growing Swarm on them that hits them and that stuff, and then I go into my heavy attacks. You know what? I'm a person that likes to see the visual stuff, and I move around quick because of that celerity. So let me just do it on the little guy over here. So I would be coming into contact here. I would get out. Boom. There's my Lotus in there. I would start off with that. Then I hit him. Boom. Light attack for that with that. And then I'm going. Boom. Boom. And then I hit my number 1 whenever that's up. Boom. Hit that when that ever comes up. Boom. Boom. Yeah. And if I need the extra heal, boom, I've got it. Yeah. So yeah, so that's the rotation. I love it. It's so good. Yeah, here, give Barry in the shot. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that actually looks really good. Boom. All right, everybody. So that is our new Frostagon. Like I said, I've been searching for it for a while now, trying to find something in there. And it was so funny that it started with fashion. And then from there, using what I've learned off of my Necro build that people have been loving, the Arcanist build I did recently and stuff, and taking that mentality of how hard can I hit something? How hard can I, what can I do in an AoE format? Within there to get things going on it. So, yeah. If I've forgotten something, or if there's something that you think it could be improved with it, a flex spot that you enjoy, let me know down in the comments below. If you haven't subbed yet, please, hit that sub button, and ding the bell, do all the stuff and everything. And, I love making these videos and stuff, and especially build videos. Everybody in my community laughs at me because I said, I'm not going to be doing much for build videos. If you notice, it's been a couple of weeks since I did my last one, and they're just like they just roll their eyes. So yeah, so back with another one. I hope you've enjoyed it. I like making these, and and I did take it through all of my checkpoints. So I took it through so for me, all of my checkpoints to make sure if it's good, I go and check out the Guar and the Jashawn, on the east side of Jashawn there, because he has so many interrupts and there's so many ads that pop up. That was fine. I took it to the Gargoyle boss in Rivenspire. You know the one. If you've ever been on there, that he conjures ads and hits really, really hard. It was probably the easiest one that I did, easiest tune I've gone against him. Especially when Barry was doing a little bit of taunting, so it took the pressure off me and stuff. So that was really good. Then I took it through VMA. It was fine. Took it through VVH. It was great. Oh my gosh, especially on the final boss. The final boss, of course, when you have the you got to kill the tethered ladies in there, which is the only kind of like semi DPS check in there. Went through there absolutely fine. Took it through IA, of course, and everything. I was a little bit under the gun because I was excited to make this video. I got through 3 and did a little bit of 4, and it was fine. I was still hitting real hard, and my defenses were great. And oh, my defenses! Oh my gosh, you guys are probably yelling at the screen. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Hold on. I forgot about the cool setup of why I put the health stuff on there. Oh my gosh. I tell you, if my head wasn't screwed on. All right, so everything in the Magicka and stuff like that, we have our Magicka up here at 28, all right? And our health is at 27, all right? I like putting things at 30, but we don't want to put things at 30 for the Warden because of Piercing Cold. Do we know about this with the Piercing Cold? Check this out. Piercing Cold. Dealing frost damage grants you Piercing Cold for 8 seconds. All right, once up to once every 4 seconds. Piercing Cold increases the amount of damage you block by 12%. For 3,000 and more. If you have 30,000 or more max health. Wait, I'm like improvising because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. Let me read again. Piercing Cold increases the amount of damage you block by 12% if you have 30k or more max health, or increase your damage done if it's 8% by 8% if you do not. So we got to make sure that we're under. Now, there's a little thing that we have to worry about is in green balance, we get, where is it? Was it the last one? Yeah, last one. When you activate a heal on yourself, remember I'm doing the Lotus thing and stuff, so it's going to be on a time, you get minor toughness, which increases your max health by 10% for 20 seconds. So I had to do a little bit of math and figure it out. All right. So if I do, I can do anything. So if in here, I have 27. All right. If I do a heal, boom, and see, that's the little icon for toughness down there. It brings me to 29,967. That's about as much as we can do without touching it in there. So that keeps us still doing that 8% extra damage. All right. So yeah, so I had to figure that out. So that's why I was doing, the balance of the health stuff in here. I originally had an extra health one to Slimecraw on here, but I took that off, and it was just enough with having the health here and the health there to do that. So there is adjustments to be made. So if you're using something else or you're altering a little bit, that's one of the things that you have to keep in mind, that you do not, when you're doing any kind of health, that you do not go over that amount. You want to keep it down below. So you got to be careful of that. Gosh, the other thing I didn't show you of the whole thing of this being a big boom, boom, boom build is the spell damage. Look at that. Unbuffed, 54-48. Spell crit, 40%. That's fine. Macabre doesn't get anything bonuses from spell crit, so it doesn't really matter. And that, but look at that. 5,448. Hits like a truck. Yeah, that spell damage really makes a big difference within there. All right, was there anything else in here that I forgot to mention? No, I think we're all good. So, all right. Sorry that, gosh, well, now I know if people will watch the video all the way through in there. So, actually, you know what? I've seen people do this before just to check to see if anybody is doing it and stuff. I mean, you don't have to do this like that. I'll put this here. All right. In the comments, if you've watched all the way to the end, which I thank you so much, put down the numbers 29967. Put that in the comment, 29967. Then I'll know that you made it all the way over here. You saw, what we were doing with that, and with the toughness stuff. So, anyway, now I thought I was doing good timing on my video, but now we've run a little bit long with it. So, yeah. All right. So, thank you again so much for everything. I hope you enjoy it. Please comment down below. Let me know, all the things and stuff. And if you give it a try, enjoy it. Real easy one to put together. And like I said, I had a fun time doing it. So, and I appreciate everybody, with the YouTube. Sorry again that it was a couple of weeks between videos. In there, I was really searching for this guy. I was really trying to come up with, can I, Barry's ready for battle. I was trying to come up with something for Frostagon that did the meaningful damage in the way that I wanted to. Because there's a lot of good single target damage. There's a lot of good stuff, with that. But, could I do it in the way that I wanted to? and have that damage that I want to, and still have it be a very accessible build, and easy one to put together. So, all right, I'm gabbing again and everything like that. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.